I'm Scarlett Moffatt, the original Gogglebox couch potato and bitch.
I'm Seann Walsh, the original 1 GCSE comedian and bitch.
We're hosting the very first.
No, I can't. Hang on, wait.
Okay, one,
Wait. Sorry. Start again. We're hosting. No,
We're
after
hosting.
3. 1, 2, 3. We're hosting.
We're hosting.
The very first. I'm a
celebrity.
Disaster.
South Africa's podcast and bitch.
And bitch.
Right, now we've got that out of our systems. I feel like we need to discuss the action in camp. Seann, who do you think on that cliffhanger the 2 new arrivals are?
Well, I've got absolutely no idea. I mean, I know it's not me.
I think this is my friend because I would know the back of that ginger dude's head anywhere, and I think it's my extra camp buddy. Yeah, I think it's Joe Swash. That's who I
thought Joe Swash was ginger.
Yeah, that dude was ginger. He looked a bit. He had a ginger tinge.
The dude was ginger.
Do you not think he had a bit of a ginger tinge? And I know for a fact that...
maybe he had a ginger tinge.
Yeah, and Swashy sometimes uses root spray.
Oh, does it? You know that, do you?
Mm.
I need to get hold of some of this root spray.
And then I was thinking...
So it's 2?
2. And then I was thinking, I didn't really see the woman very well, but could it be Stacey Solomon? Like, could they both be going in together as king and queen, a couple?
You think?
I don't know.
That would be a first, and I'm a celeb first.
Yeah, I hope it is. That's who I hope it is, anyway.
Yes, well, there's 2 going in, and we know one is going out because the I'm a Celeb, the bush, it's an evil bush. It's a very evil, mean bush, and the campmates don't like it.
Who do I think's going to go? Who do you think's going to go, yeah.
Okay, well, all right. I'm going to put it to you.
Okay.
Maybe this is a bit unfair. Before we answer that question of who we think is going to go, who would you, be honest, who would you put down? Who would you put in to go? Are you going to answer that?
Yeah, so...
Come on.
Bearing in mind, I'm imagining myself immersed in there, not just watching it. I'm imagining my temperament, being hungry, being
absolutely. That's it.
Yeah. I would struggle between either choosing Janice, because I just feel like Janice is, you know, she's 68, like she's struggling. I think she would be best off in a hotel. I think she'd enjoy that, cocktail in hand hotel.
Yeah, it seems like she wouldn't mind going.
Yeah, I think, I feel like she'd be happy. I don't feel like she'd be disappointed. Or the other part of us would choose Fatima because she's just taken everything so seriously, and I think that would get on me titties.
Your
like no, it would do my head in a bit. It would do my head in.
I have to agree with you there, and do you know what? She's lovely, and when she gets in the Telegraph, you know, you really get an insight into who she is, and she's just, you know, Fatima's an athlete. She's born to win. She loves rules, but for me, when she was reordering everyone's roles in the bush, I couldn't handle that. When she put Myleene on the, like, as the chef, like, there you are, you're the chef. I couldn't handle that.
So as part of camp maintenance, I'll help Myleene then do some cooking. Is that all right?
I'll do whatever, but I'm not a chef, as I've told everybody. I'm not a chef. I don't really know what I'm doing with cooking.
Amir. Who else was long drop?
I'll do the long drop with Amir.
Phil.
OK, fine. I'm happy to do the job, but I don't know how to conjure up the flavours.
You do, look...
I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll just
But I don't know if I'll do it well, but I'll do it.
I think a lot of people would have went, look, I've said like numerous times, I don't want to be the chef, I don't want that responsibility. Whereas she was basically in a polite way saying, if I burn all your food, this is not my fault, it's fine. Yes. Like, I felt like that was the vibe I got. But equally, I suppose if we didn't have Fatima in there, the camp would be absolute chaos because there would be no sort of like motherly leader figure, and I feel like you
Leader.
do sort of need that, because otherwise it would just be like Phil Tufnell telling stories about streakers, Toff and
I mean,
Carol just did the long
Phil's memory, Scarlett.
It's unreal.
He can't. It just goes. He goes, oh, what is that? That was a lovely. What did we eat? I can't remember what we even eat there. What was it? My mind seems to be going, and my legs falling off. But I miss Seann. I do miss Seann. He's a lovely man.
He really is. But can you imagine just a camp of Phils? Like, you need a Fatima to take control of the situation.
Yes. I agree. She's strident, isn't she? And she wants things done properly, and she doesn't like it when people break the rules, as we've seen. But who do you think is going to go?
I think Janice. I honestly think people, because obviously when they did the plug it challenge with all the water, obviously Janice was like, look, I'm out, like I can't. But fair enough, she did go back and they did win the miniature square of brownie.
The warrior.
But as well, I just think like she's actually the same age as my nan.
Wow.
And I just think what people don't realise when they're watching the show is that there's nowhere to sit with her back. I know that sounds really pathetic, but you're constantly either sat on a log or you're sat on a bed or you're laid in a hammock, and like your spine is just constantly curved. So I feel like that also makes you angry, and I don't think my nan could cope with that amount of weeks in the bush, like sitting on a log. So I do feel for her. I'm like, God, we forget like you're 68. Like, I know you're a supermodel and bitch, but you're also 68. And I think like she deserves like a round of applause just for that, just for doing it.
Well, I'm going to give her one. There you go. That's for Janice Dickinson right there. The original, the OG supermodel and self-proclaimed bitch. There you go.
I tell you what I love is like obviously like Georgia gets called Toff and Phil gets called Tough.
Yes.
Like I feel like you know you've made it when you get a nickname. I mean, even though they have named themselves those nicknames.
Yeah, that's their own nicknames. Yeah.
Yeah, which I try to do at school because I didn't have a nickname. So then I tried to give myself one, which doesn't work as well. But did you have any nicknames when you were...
Hang on, you tried to give yourself a nickname?
Yeah.
This is not how nicknames work. What was your nickname?
Well, you're gonna bear in mind this was primary school, and I thought Scarlett sounded a bit like Starlight. So I would go into school and be like, oh yeah, like all my friends outside of school call me Starlight, but it never caught on.
My friends outside of school.
I had no friends outside of school, by the way. That was a
you know me
lie.
as Scarlett, but outside of that, outside of the school, outside of this regiment, I'm actually known as Starlight. Yeah, bit of a superhero over here.
But it never
Scarlett
caught
Moffatt,
on.
Starlight. My nickname at school was because I liked wrestling. And my friends at the time, they were wrestling. And I was too scared to actually get involved in the wrestling, but wanted to be involved in like the kind of the playful aspect of it, the dramatic theatre aspect of it. So I was an American wrestling manager, and my name was Seann Flex.
That suits you, actually.
Yeah, well, I did. I used to have a gesture that I did when I would be doing a promo about my wrestler. My wrestler was called Evil Dave, and I would go, "Evil Dave is gonna take the Pride and Championship heavyweight belt," and that was the
And
F.
then just a little peace sign over your eye that looks like an F.
No, it's an F for flex.
Oh, I see.
Well, that...
It looks sort of like
really
you're dancing, like doing like 60s dancing with the...
There you go, Seann Flex. There we go. I've started a new song and bitch. Right, yes, so Toff and Tough. But Toff, oh my God, what about when Toff... I thought she went in quite heavy for...
Helen?
To Helen. Yeah, to Helen.
Yeah. I thought that I was a bit shocked by that because I know Toff, and when she was like, well, you're going to have to do better than you did last time, like, sorry to be savage, and I was like, those are internal thoughts, Toff, just keep them on the inside.
I know.
Don't say it out loud.
Well, they've been in there a few days, so I think maybe the not eating has started without them realising even.
Yeah.
It's starting to get to them and they're starting to come out and just say exactly what they think. I'm sorry to be savage, darling, but you're really going to have to, Pig, you really have to up your game. Come on, put stuff together.
To be fair, though, she did. Like, I think Helen,
She
honestly,
smashed
is
it.
the hero of this series. Like, I know that sounds really dramatic, but from a fan of hers 10 years ago,
Yeah.
watching her literally say, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, on nearly every trial, or only getting a couple of stars here and there, to literally
Yes.
go up 1,100 metres, dangle off a bit of scaffolding, and,
Oh my
like,
God.
catch stars. I was like, who is this? I think even Ant and Dec were like, who is
know.
this person? Like, where's the real Helen? Will the real Helen Flanagan please stand up?
Amir Khan.
I know. He did it, but honestly, when that board started to wobble when he walked out,
Oh my
I
God.
actually felt sick. I thought,
I
no,
got
like,
vertigo.
save yourself. Yeah, I did, I did as well. I thought I
Yeah.
was going to have to take my anti-sickness tablets. I was like, this is too
I know.
much for me. This is too
The
much.
wobbling. Because
Yeah.
it's so scary. Was there anything that when you were in there, you thought, I can't do this?
I think, because I'm quite claustrophobic, so mine was like when I did it in a cave. And there was moments where I
Oh.
thought, I don't think I can do this. It's the whole initial just seeing that set up of like the world's end.
Oh my
Like
God.
even calling something the world's end, like I feel like that instills fear in you straight away.
Was it Helen who went, where they went, oh, it's called the World's End, and then she went, oh, it's probably like hanging off a cliff or something. You're like, how did
Yeah,
you
she
get
sounded
that?
so cash. Yeah.
Just yeah, probably hanging off a cliff. Off the World's End, yeah, just like you're on the World's End, so you're hanging off. I would never have got that.
No, I wouldn't have either. When I think of the world's end, I think of the pub out of is it Shaun of the Dead?
No, it's the film The World's End.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just thought of that.
It's Simon Pegg. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
honestly think that Myleene class in a past life was a
Yeah.
scaffolder, because the way that she shot up those beams was unbelievable.
I know.
All right, release the star.
Okay, Myleene's unleashed the star.
Come on, Helen, you got this, baby girl, you got this.
Just wait up there, Myleene.
Come on, girl. Boss lady, mama power.
Eileen, again, just really steely, your focus, determination.
Mum power. I was like,
Mum power.
Doing it for the mums, doing it for the mums. I didn't want my children to see me not do that.
What was nice is they were all doing it for the kids. Like, they were all like, oh, like mum power and dad power. And I was like, oh, the kids are going to be
And,
so
yeah.
proud.
She kept calling Helen baby girl. Come on, baby girl.
I
Come on,
loved
baby
that.
girl. You can do it. Come on. That would put me off. Baby
Oh.
girl. Hey? Baby girl?
Oh, can I
You're
just say,
30s.
speaking of baby girl, you know when them vultures
yeah.
came, I honestly thought it was
Oh my
babies
God.
crying. I thought someone's brought a couple of babies into the bush. It was horrific. I was like, what is that noise?
That would have terrified me. I remember once I was told there was a spider on the end of my bed and I couldn't get back into bed.
The worst thing that happened in our year was Joel Dommett. They actually had to get like the security people out because he had a snake on his hammock.
It
That,
kept on
like,
sneaking
if
into
it-
everyone's bed. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Snake, yeah.
The snake. If it had bit him, he like possibly like, I don't want to sound dramatic, but I think he could have died. Like, maybe some. But yeah, it was like. No, I'm sure. Like maybe I'm really over egging it, but I'm sure they were like, oh yeah, like there's a possibility you could have like died if it had bit you
Yeah.
and stuff. I am going to sound sick here, right?
Well, there's two of us.
It's only recently that I realised that vultures were like real creatures. Like I just thought like they were in
Hey.
the Jungle Book. Like I thought they were.
Well, they
I
don't
thought
talk.
Well, yeah, no, I know that. I know that now. But I thought like they were just like a made-up Disney bird. And then I was watching like an animal thing and like a
No.
documentary, and I was like, oh, like, and they're like a death bird. Like, why were 3 vultures? And then
Yeah.
the fact that Phil Tufnell said, oh, they were looking at Janice and like putting the bibs on. Like I was like, that's harsh. That like Phil. When he said that, I was like, that is harsh.
Oh, I've got a bit of plastic in my mouth. Oh dear. No, the vultures. There you go. We're learning, everyone. We're learning.
Yeah,
we're going
the
over
real
what happened
things.
in the bush, and we've learned that the vultures are real and terrifying. I might add. That was like the bush equivalent of when you're trying to get to sleep and you hear a fox having a good time behind a bin.
Oh, yeah. They're awful.
Absolutely terrifying.
The thing is, though, I do
Yes.
sometimes think it's worse not seeing them. I'd rather hear the animal and see where
Yes.
it's coming from than just hear a noise and not know where the animal is, what it's doing.
Yes, especially at night. I mean,
Yes.
probably, to be fair, the vultures probably were scared off by Paul Burrell's snoring. Because it seems like Sean Ryder's spirit has managed to stay in the bush and go through Paul Burrell. No wonder he stopped being a butler. The Queen's been woken up at night and gone, get rid of him. What is that? He's woken up the pugs. Absolute animal.
Also, Sean, I love that you think that Buckingham Palace has pugs. I think it's
Oh, is
corgis,
it not
isn't it?
pugs?
I think it's
Oh, is it
corgis.
corgis? I'm so sorry.
Just imagine them like the royal pugs.
I'm so sorry. That's how bad he is. He's brought in the wrong dogs, honestly. Sorry, my royal pets knowledge isn't up to scratch. Well done. I'm glad you're here. Someone's pulling a shift. But what an episode! What an episode! So who we saying's got right? You think Janice Dickinson?
Janice.
Do you know what I'll say? Is Janice seems like a bit of a character, and I was someone that went in late, and actually, fortunately for me, the group were wonderful, and we all bonded, and everyone got on. But you know, Andy has come in late.
Oh.
And you know, he wasn't part of the trial. And you know, so he hasn't got the stars for anyone yet, and so I'm going to say Andy. As you've said, Janice, I'm going to say Andy.
Oh,
And we
now
shall
you say
see.
that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I suppose
That's right.
Janice is quite good for morale, isn't she? Like, she's funny.
Yeah. It's not that Andy's not funny. Of course, they're all lovely. They're all funny. But there's an energy that when you're in that camp, you want people that are, even if they can be disruptive, I think is a good word. Although you're in there, you still want to be entertained. There is a lot of time in the day when you're out in there. So I think Janice might be safe, and I think it might be Andy's come in late.
I feel like this is really like the harshest twist ever, because I personally would rather have been voted off by the public than by your own campmates, because at least you can go, well,
Speak for
you know,
yourself.
they're only seeing a snippet of what I can do. Whereas if you get voted out by your campmates, it's like they're the people that live with you. Do you know what I mean? They've actively chosen to not have you hang around with them anymore, and it's like they become your family. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
Do you still think you would have won if it was up to the campmates?
I don't know. Probably not.
I think you would. I would have voted for you to win.
Oh,
Don't worry.
thanks. I don't know. No, I don't know, because, like, for example, Adam Thomas, who was in my year,
Yeah.
he literally was called Mr. Bush Tucker Trial because he'd done the most out of anyone ever. So I just think, like, he was bringing home, like, the bacon all the time. And
Literal bacon or metaphorical bacon?
No, I wish. Imagine if...
Oh, just
down
like a
from-
phrase. He was bringing home
Yeah,
the bacon.
yeah, oh,
Oh,
he's
sorry, I've
bringing
not
home the
heard that.
bacon.
Sorry.
Have you not? Is that an Northern thing?
Sorry.
You never heard bringing home the bacon?
I've not heard. No one's bringing home the bacon where I live.
I need
but
to give
maybe.
you a lesson in, like, what's it called? Eloquisms.
Oh, eloquisms.
Yeah.
From bacon to eloquisms.
To eloquisms.
It's Scarlett Moffatt.
We'll be back after episode 7,
We will.
which I'm dying to watch because, well, one, I just love the show and I need to know who these new contestants are, and I also want to know who they get rid of.
Let's see if Scarlett's right and I'm right with. Why have I sounded like a football pundit just then?
Why do you
Let's see if Scarlett Moffatt is right. We'll find out next week.
They think it's all over. It is now.
What else have we got, Scarlett?
I'm hoping you stick a prop on because I'm not being funny, right? I've
Hang
wore
on.
me gilet. Thank you. He's finally put some of Gillian McKeith's sunglasses on. I've wore a gilet, a crown. I've smuggled stuff in me knickers. Like, the least you can do is stick a prop on.
Okay, well, tomorrow you'll see this. I'll give you a sneak peek. This
Come on then. Oh.
Like that.
Gillian, is that you?
Hey? I'll be rummaging through your feces next. That's what Gillian did, by the way. In case no one knows, Gillian used to go through people's feces, in case you're thinking, hang on a second, has he gone mad?
I feel like we can't just end on that. She used to make people. She used to make people. Well, not make them. She wasn't forcing them. People would come on a show and poo in a bait box, and then she would take the bait box away, like the pack lunch box away, and then sniff the poo and tell you how you can improve life.
Thank you for that save.
Rummaging about.